Hello everybody, good night. Welcome to our first session of Module 6, My World in Other Language. I'm your facilitator and virtual advisor, Master in Science, Tatiana Sauer Calvo. Buenas noches, bienvenidos a todos a nuestra primera sesión del módulo 6. Soy su facilitadora y asesora virtual, la maestra Tatiana Sauer Calvo. Como única ocasión les voy a dar la explicación de cómo vamos a desarrollar nuestras sesiones en español. Todas las sesiones las vamos a desarrollar en inglés. Cada una de las sesiones vamos a revisar cuál es el objetivo, qué asignación de evaluación tienen sus actividades a desarrollar durante cada semana, un poco de pronunciación y revisar el vocabulario de la semana que vamos a estar trabajando. Información útil que se encuentra dentro de la plataforma para el desarrollo de sus actividades. Casi al final de la sesión iremos revisando el desarrollo de sus actividades, vamos a ir viendo las dudas que tengan, cómo se va a evaluar y finalmente cerraremos con actividades formativas, información en la sección de novedades y cualquier duda que vayan teniendo, por favor escríbanla en el chat. Aquellos que ya se encuentran conectados, por favor menciónenme su nombre para saber que se encuentran en línea. Gracias Valentín, veo que ya estás conectado. Entonces, bueno, como les comentaba, todas nuestras sesiones se van a desarrollar en inglés. Cualquier duda que vayan teniendo, por favor la anotan en el chat. Entonces vamos a iniciar. The objectives for this week is that you're going to be capable of sharing in an oral in a written manner personal information from family members and to interact with other people. You will apply grammatical notions and vocabulary to present yourself as well as other people, and you are going to be able to request information about other persons. This on an oral and written way. So we are on our first week. For this week, you're going to develop two activities, my curriculum vitae and this is my family. These two activities, each one is graded or will be part of your total and final evaluation. Each one is graded with 7%. That is 14% that you will have for this week. Before I start the pronunciation slide, thank you Fabiola and Eric for joining us in this session. Welcome. The objective of this slide is that you get used to different ways of the pronunciation of English. This has two objectives. One, that you train your ear, and also that you may look at how the sentences of this pronunciation or these dialogues are written. So we're going to begin. Hello, I'm Thomas Brown. Hi, my name is Samantha Tavares, but please call me Sam. Nice to meet you, Sam. You can call me Tom. Okay, Tom, this is my sister Sarah. Hello, Sarah, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Where are you from? We are from Brazil, but we are students here. Are you in the same classroom? No, we have different goals. I'm studying English literature, and I'm studying architecture. Great, I'm studying English too. Let's go to our English class. Goodbye, guys. So for this first week, we have a basic vocabulary that you will be learning, and that is useful that each day you will learn one word or more than one word depending on how advanced you feel your vocabulary or your level of English. For this week, what we're going to review on the vocabulary is colors, family members, marital status, countries and nationalities, occupations and professions, cardinal numbers, parts of the body, and adjectives. So please review the information that it's in the platform regarding the vocabulary and begin practicing how is it written, how is it spelled, and how it sounds when you pronounce it. As well, when you are going to meet someone, you have two ways of saying hello. It depends if it's a formal conversation or an informal one. For example, for a formal conversation, you will use it when you are with co-workers or when you are at the work or in a professional way. And you will use informal speaking or writing when you are with friends or family. Depending on the time of the day, it's the formal or informal way you're going to say hello to other people or to say goodbye. We have morning, afternoon, at night. And you have different ways to directing yourself to the others. For example, on an informal way, you may say hi or hello. But in a formal way, you may say good morning, good afternoon, good night. As well, when you say you are farewelling someone, you may say on an informal way, have a good day, as well as an informal way. In an informal way, you would say, it's nice to see you. But being formal, for example, with your boss, you will say, I'm glad to see you. So these phrases is for you to know when you are going to speak on a formal or an informal way. Here are some more questions that you may use when you are beginning a conversation with other persons, and you may use them in a formal or an informal way. For example, how is it going? How is your family? Or what's up? What's new? So these are just simple questions that you may use when you are speaking with someone. Now, the structure you're going to use when you are writing sentences or as well when you are speaking, you are going to have your personal pronoun and then the verb to be and a complement. For example, you will need to first learn which are the personal pronouns. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, or they. Normally, you use the verb to be in a simple present form with the pronoun I, we're going to use am. For he, she, or it, you're going to always use is. And for you, we, and they, you are always going to use are. Remember that when you're writing and speaking, you need to have some concordance or matching between the singular and the plural pronoun and the verb that you're using. Then we have some examples of some sentences. I'm going to read some of them. I'm a student. He is happy. We are tired. They are in Paris. As well, you can use the verb to be in a negative form. He's not here. We are not American. She's not in Bogota. For example, when you are using a negative form with the verb to be, you're going to use your pronoun, then the verb to be, the negative form, and then your complement. Here you can see there are some contractions for your personal pronouns and the use of the verb to be. When you are writing and speaking in a formal way, it's not recommended that you use contractions. The use of contractions is only when you are speaking and writing on an informal way. Here are some: I'm, your, his, she's, it's, we're, you're, their. Thank you, Christina and Dulce, for joining the session. I read that you're connected. Also, we have here are the some examples of how is the structure. You can use the verb to be in a positive, negative, or for questions in English. As we have already seen, we have the positive way and the negative. The new thing that we're looking at this slide is for making questions, when you want to ask something using the verb to be instead of a WH questions. The WH question, we're going to see it in the next slides. But for example, if you are asking something, you may use the verb to be at the beginning of the sentence, then your pronoun, your personal pronoun, and then your complement. Something very important when you're asking questions is that you end your sentence with a question mark. Here we have an example. Am I beautiful? Are you a teacher? Is she tall? So you may see different examples of how to use it, as well as you can use it with the contractions or the contracted form. These are some examples, but it's the same structure that you will have always. For example, in a positive way, your pronoun, your verb to be, corresponding to the pronoun, your verb, and the complement. Then you're going to have, for the negative structure, your pronoun, your verb to be, the negative, that it will be not, and your complement. And finally, for asking questions, you're going to have your verb to be at the beginning of the sentence, your pronoun, your complement, and the question mark. Also, when you are speaking and writing, you may use the indefinite article a and an. And here are some simple classifications that you may use or you may learn to identify when you're going to use a or when you're going to use an. You may use a with names that begin with a consonant. For example, a book, a pen, a chair, a girl. You're going to use an when the beginning of the next word is with a vowel. For example, an animal, an ice cream, an example, an orange, an umbrella. As every rule, there are always some exceptions. For example, you may use a when you have some words that begin with the letters u or eu, but the sound that they made is u. For example, a university, a era. You have the sound u, although they began with a vowel, so here we're going to use the article, the indefinite article a. Then we can use an with the words that begin with an h, but it's not pronounced. So this is also an exception because, as you may know, the h is a consonant, but we are going to use it if the sound is not pronounced. For example, an hour, you do not pronounce the h, but with hospital you pronounce the h. That's why we use a hospital. These are like simple rules that you may learn, and whenever you are using a or an, you may remember to define which article you're going to use. So here are other examples. I will read some of them. He has a computer. I want an orange. I want an apple and 2 oranges. There are 100 students in school. I live in an apartment. The apartment is big. Maria is a doctor. Juan is an architect. I am a Democrat. As you see, there are different examples following the rules that we have just read. Then we have the demonstrative adjectives and pronouns. This, that, and those. And when are we going to use each of them? For example, this is very important that you match the pronoun and the verb in a singular or plural way. We are going to mean the same, but we have a singular, and it's here in this place. We are looking at it. Is I like this car. But if it's singular and it's far away, it's not near us, we're going to use that. I like that car. So, for example, if you're speaking of your computer, I am using this computer because it's close to you. But if you are speaking about your, I don't know, your kitchen, that it's far away, it's not close to you, you are going to say, I like that kitchen. Then we have the same when we are using a plural that is near us and a plural that is far away. For example, when something is near us and is plural, we're going to use I like these cars. They're near me. I like those cars. They are not near me. They are far away. I cannot reach them with my hand. They are not close. Also, you're going to define when it's used as a demonstrative adjective or a pronoun, because if it's an adjective, you're going to have a pronoun in the sentence. Otherwise, if there is no a pronoun, you are using it as the pronoun of the sentence. For example, this is a good book. This is the pronoun. Or what is that? That is the pronoun. Here we have more examples. For example, if you are using it as an adjective, these children are funny. The subject in the sentence is children, so these children is being used as an adjective. But if we've mentioned these are funny, referring to the clowns, we do not have any other subject, so this is used as a pronoun in that sentence. That is the best way that you will identify if it's an adjective or a pronoun. When we are speaking about adjectives, all the adjectives, we have many types of adjectives, and we have an order when we are going to speak about them. For example, first we're going to have those that give some description or that they are qualitative. Then those that are demonstrative, then that they express a quantity, that they give a question, then a possession, or that they have a number. And here in the slide to the right, you may see the order depending of the type of adjectives. For example, first those that give a description, then the size, age or temperature, shape, color, origin, material, use, or name. For example, if I have to describe a ball, I will say it's a big, new, round, red ball. As you see, I have this order beginning with the size, big, then new, the characteristic of age, then size, then shape, that it's round, the color, and finally what am I describing. So you're going to have first your adjectives and then your subject or pronoun. If you're giving characteristic of a person, you may say he is a young black African boy. And this order is the same that we are looking at this. But if you say, relating to this sentence, he is a boy, black, young, with green eyes, the structure is incorrect and the way you're pronouncing it is the sound is not friendly. So that is why you need to learn which is the order for each adjective so you can have a great description. Then here we have other adjectives and pronouns related to possession. As well, if you do not have a subject in the sentence, then you're using the possessive as a pronoun. But if you have a subject, you're using it as an adjective. We have the possessive adjectives my, your, his, her, its, our, your, their. And the possessive pronoun mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, yours, theirs. Some examples here, I will speak, for example, my shoes are dirty. I am referring to a possessive adjective and the subject is the shoes. But if I said those are mine, I'm referring to the shoes and I'm not using the word shoes in that sentence. But I will be pointing to them so the person that I'm speaking with may have all the information and know what I'm talking about. As I mentioned in previous slides, there are some WH questions. Here are the WH questions that you may use for the activities during this week, what is their function, and some examples of how you may use it. Remember that when you are asking questions, you will always have your WH question at the beginning of the sentence, then your verb, your complement or your pronoun, and your question mark. The most question words that you may use is what, who, which, where. But here, as you may see, there are a list of different WH questions that you may learn and then get more structured sentences regarding questions or getting information from someone or from something. With this, we conclude the information that you may review in the platform regarding the use for the development of your activities. I don't know if you have any questions. While I read the chat, if there are questions regarding this information, we're going to begin with the development of your activities for this week. First of all, we have our learning forum. Remember that we're going to have 4 forums in this module. The forums number 1, 2, and 3 are not graded, but they are very useful for you to get practice on how to participate and as well to get use on the development of the activities inside the forum and to practice your writing. The forum on week 4 is the one that will be graded. So for this week on the forum, you are going to participate with the following. You need to introduce yourself by writing your name, how old are you, where do you live, and if you work, where do you do it. Also, you're going to mention which are the most challenging things that you will face by learning English. Also, which are the benefits that you believe that will learn English will give to you. Finally, you're going to describe how do you feel when you speak English. You may feel secure, insecure, afraid. You may not have any problems. So I want to know this, and this will be your participation on your first forum. All the participations are in English. I need that you answer all these questions. Very simple, I don't need long answers, but that you made just one participation. I don't know if you have any doubts regarding the participation of the Learning Forum. I'm looking at this chat and it looks like there are no questions yet. So if you have any questions regarding your participations of the Learning Forum, please write them on the chat while we review our first activity. The first activity, you're going to download the Word File application form. You're going to fill in all the information in English. You need to answer all the personal data that is requested, as well as a recent photo of you. You are going to describe in 2 lines characteristics regarding your personality and your physical appearance. And also in 2 lines, you're going to describe your house, characteristics of your house, and some reference about it. For example, regarding your personality, you may say that you are happy, joyful, that you get angry easily, and regarding your appearance, you may say how tall are you, which color of eyes or hair, if you're fat, you're skinny, if you have sporty body, things like that. And regarding the description of your house, you may say that it's that you live in an apartment, in a house, that it has 1 or 2 floors, that outside there are some flowers or trees, that your house color is blue, and some reference regarding, you may say, for example, I live near the bus station named Venustiano Carranza, or I live in the downtown of the city, or I live near the market. So in 2 lines you are going to describe your personality, your physical appearance, and in another 2 lines you're going to describe characteristics of your place as well as some reference about it. Once you have done this, you are going to record on an audio these 2 lines that you have written, the characteristics of your personality and physical appearance, as well as the characteristics of your place and the reference. This audio needs to be recorded in a maximum of 1.5 minutes. And something very important is that you review that your audio allows anyone to listen to it, because sometimes when you get it on Google Drive or online, you have to allow permissions. So if the audio is not audible due to permissions, your evaluation will be less than if you include your audio with the permissions for me to listen to your audio. Once you have write the link in your Word file, you are going to save your Word file with the following name: your last name, both of them together without any space, underscore your name or names together without any space, underscore MO6S1AI1. Here are 2 links as a suggestion where you can record your audio. One is SoundCloud and the other one is Vocaroo. As well, if you feel comfortable using any other device, program, app for recording your audio, this is okay with me. The only thing that I need is that you put a link in your activity, and that it's audible online, that it doesn't have permissions, so I cannot listen to it. The way this will be evaluated is that you put in your work a recent photo, that you have all your personal information, that everything is in English, that you have 2 lines for describing yourself and 2 lines for the information regarding your house, and that the record is only regarding the descriptions of yourself and your house. If you record in your audio the first part where it has some details or personal information, this will be wrong, because we only need the audio regarding the description of yourself and of your house. So that is why your audio is not going to be longer than 1.5 minutes. Please be careful with your grammar mistakes as well as your pronunciation mistakes, and that the name is the one that we have just looked in the previous slide. Are there any doubts regarding activity 1? It looks like there are no doubts yet. We're going to look through activity 2. If you have any doubts, please write them on the chat. For your activity 2, you are going to download the PowerPoint file, This is My Great Family. And the things you need to do as well, this activity is develop everything is in English. You are going to write a title in this first slide. In this first slide, you are going to have a photo of your family. Then on the second slide of your work, you are going to have 4 photos. The photos will be 1 of you and 3 of your family. You are going to do a description of each of the persons that appear on the photos. Then you are going to record your audio of 2 minutes where you're going to describe, or when you're going to read the descriptions that you have already made of the photos of your family and of yourself. As well, please review that this audio is audible and it has permissions. And you're going to save your activity with the following name, your last name, both of them, together without any space, underscore your name or names together without any space, underscore MO6S1AI2. The evaluation for this activity is that you have the title and a family photo on your first slide, and in your second slide that you have 4 photos and 4 descriptions. That your audio is related to the descriptions of these 4 photos, and that your audio is no longer than 2 minutes. That you don't have grammar and pronunciation mistakes, and as well that the name is as requested. Thank you, Valentina and Fabiola, for answering that you do not have any doubts regarding activity 1. And now this is the time. If you have any doubts regarding activity 2, please let me know through a message in the chat. Other things that you need to do for this week in the platform is you're going to develop your activities, your formative activities 1 and 2 is Johnson's family tree, and also introducing my friend. You need to fill in the spaces for the activity 2, and for activity 1 you need to match which is the relationship between the members that are on that tree. Also, you need to develop your social-emotional activity. For this activity, we have a change on the platform. Normally, you read this week and then you develop the activity next week. This has changed. For this week, you need to develop your social-emotional activity. So don't forget to do it because this is part of your evaluation. Also, you have more information if you want to learn further or to practice further. And you need to develop the questionnaire that we were speaking about of your social-emotional activity. On the news section in the platform, I have already uploaded some information. There you may find how we're going to work during this module. Normally, I'm connected online between 11 to 2 o'clock. If you need something by that time, or if you have any doubts during the week, you may send me a message to the platform or to my email. Also, in the news section at the platform, you may find information regarding when we're going to have our sessions, and also each week I'm going to upload some useful information that will help you develop your activities. These links that you are looking at the screen, they are already at the news section. They're very useful, that will help you with the use of English for the development of your activities, or if you have any doubts regarding some questions or the use of them. So with this, we will be concluding our first session of Module 6. Let me check the chat. I see there are no more questions regarding your activities or the information that we have just reviewed. So here's every week I'm going to give you some phrases. The phrase for this week will be good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best, from Saint Jerome. So thank you very much for joining our first session of Module 6. Remember that if you have any doubts during the week, please write me through my email or send me a message to the platform. Review all the information that is in the platform. Remember that all this participation in the platform is part of your final evaluation, and that you need to develop your 2 activities before the closing time in the platform on Sunday. And as a suggestion, I recommend that you develop your activities as soon as you have them. Don't wait till Friday or till the weekend to upload them. Please, if you have already them, keep uploading them during these days so I may check them or review them if you have any doubts. I have a message from Dulce. Which is your doubt, Dulce? Please, before we end the session. We're going to wait for Dulce to see what is her doubt. Just a couple of seconds. And also remember that your audios are audible and you don't state permissions on them, so I can easily listen to them. Thank you, Fabiola. Dulce, yes, all the sessions will be in English. At the beginning of this session, I explained in Spanish that as a requirement from Prepa en Línea CEP, all the sessions need to be developed in English. So yes, all the sessions will be in English. Does this fulfill your doubt? Ok, la duda de Dulce era que si todas las sesiones van a ser en inglés. Lo que le estaba comentando es, como se los mencioné al inicio de la sesión, por determinación y lineamientos de Prepa en Línea CEP, así es, todas las sesiones las vamos a desarrollar en inglés. Las dudas que tengan, tanto en la plataforma como por correo electrónico, las pueden externar de manera en español o en inglés, lo que se les facilite. Perfect, Dulce, thank you. So, regarding this answer, we do not have any more questions. So, thank you very much for joining Valentin, Fabiola, Eric, Cristina, Dulce, and Ivan. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you have an excellent week, and we are going to try that this module is really fruitful for you, so you will be moving forward on the practicing and writing and speaking of English. Thank you very much and good night.